All right, we are back with another episode of the Orange Ball Podcast. Episode 10, we hit double digits. I'm Sam, along with Brendan. And basketball's finally here. College basketball is finally here.
Yeah, it was a good start. We got to watch some hoops, and then we attended a game, which was fun. So, plenty of hoops coming up, and it's big games tonight. Recording Friday, so got some big ones tonight that we'll talk about. But yeah, it's been a good start to the week. A little some upsets, some stinkers of a game, but hey, you know what?
Yeah,
that's how it goes.
Yeah, it's been an eventful first week. I think close to 200 teams played on Monday. It was crazy to try to find all the box scores and stats. One of the biggest game of the day for the opening day was Gonzaga Baylor. It was being played in Spokane, in the Spokane Arena, and Gonzaga absolutely just took the rails off of them.
I was really impressed with for game one and they have a lot of guys that return on that team, and a team last year that I don't think a lot of people really thought was up to the standard of what they're used to, but a lot of those guys that came back, and like one of the things that really surprised me was just how good they are defensively. Like they just Baylor had nothing going for them, and then Gonzaga, when they get rolling and you let them get transition threes, I mean the roof just collapses on you. Especially, I mean, they were playing at Spokane Arena, so it wasn't in the kennel, but I mean that place was obviously rocking, and it was just like a landslide after pretty much the first media timeout. It was just a really, really impressive win for Gonzaga. And I don't think it's the end of the world for Baylor. I think they have a good team too. Mm-hmm. It was just one of those nights where it was just over, quick.
Yeah, I mean, I love Gonzaga's roster. Their roster stacked. They got not only a lot of talent, but a lot of guys who have played college basketball for a long time. Khalil Battle, Graham Ike from Wyoming.
Yeah, Ike looked good. He's such a good big.
And I also liked what's his name, Braden Huff, coming off the bench. He had a good game in the first half.
Dusty Stromer. I mean, he came in and knocked down like 4 threes, I think. And then a guy who has kind of come into his own is Ben Gregg too. Like that dude's a really good basketball player. I wasn't sure how he would fit in when he went to Gonzaga, and he's become. I mean, last year he kind of changed their trajectory of their season by being implemented in the starting lineup, and this year they look even better. So, they just started quick, and it was just over quick. It was interesting, but those games happen, and again, I don't think that's like a knock on Baylor. I think it was just one of those nights for the Zags.
Yeah, and then of course at the end of the game, our pal Joe Few,
walk on disaster.
Yeah. Hey, props to him though
he went up verticality.
Yeah, he went up verticality, which was what they teach you. So, but that was pretty funny. He went mega viral on every single social media.
He was you could see when he was getting up, he was laughing about it.
Yeah.
He knew he was going to
number one on SportsCenter too.
You knew he was going to be on TV somehow. So hey, it was. But I think even Mark Few said, "Hey, I'm proud of him. He went up. He went straight up. Tried to contest it a little bit, but." He got met with one of the more athletic dudes.
Yeah.
In the country, so, some other game. I mean, we went to Boise State. We could talk about that for a little bit. I mean, that team looks really good. I was impressed. Oakland's probably not a team that's going to make the tournament or whatever, but pretty impressive showing from the Broncos on Wednesday.
For sure. It was cool to go out there and see them for the first game. One thing I kind of noticed is like previously they've been slow coming out of the gates, like miss a few shots, get down early some games, but like they were just firing automatically. I think they made their first 3 shots.
Yeah, the game started like 13-2 pretty quickly, and off of like 3 or 4 threes, I think.
Yeah, so I'm excited to watch how their offense kind of progresses because their offense is already at a super high level compared to previous opening games.
Yeah, I mean, I think a couple of these tournament teams that Boise State has had, they've dropped quad 4 losses in their first couple of games. So if you avoid that, I mean, that's just going to help you out. I think one of the things that I took away is I'm just stunned how Alvaro Cardenas was at San Jose State for the last 3 years.
Yeah.
Like that dude is a old school type point guard, and when he's on the floor, the tempo is just completely controlled. He can make plays that I don't think a lot of point guards in the country can make. And I think this is going to be a cool year for him because obviously people in the Mountain West know him, but I think he's going to become more nationally known as one of the better point guards in the country because he really does control the game when he has the ball in his hands. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, and kind of along that, coming from San Jose State, I think RJ said something about how he has never really felt that kind of environment before because if you don't know San Jose State, they get maybe 1,000 people at their games.
It's not really a fan base there.
So good for him as well, just being able to come to a place where he can be appreciated and on a better team, I guess.
I think people were just surprised when a lot of the staff and players would come out when he committed and say, "Wow, this is a huge pickup for us." And a lot of people were like, "Really? Like the San Jose State point guard? Like what?" Like if you were just a casual watcher, but people who watched the Mountain West understood, oh, yeah, this dude is he's a legit point guard, and you surround him with the guys that Boise State has. I'm not surprised that they were picked first in the conference now, and along with some of the other teams kind of taking some lumps in their first games and stuff. It was pretty cool to see a team that has kind of struggled offensively the last couple of years. Not really struggled, but to make it look that easy, and it's the first game of the season, so there's a lot to learn from these teams, but to have an offense like that was pretty impressive from Boise State, I would say.
Yeah, and they got University of San Francisco. I guess it'll be probably tonight because we're recording this today, probably dropping tomorrow, Saturday, and then a big game against Clemson, and then Cayman Islands.
Yeah, and that tournament is probably favored for Boise State, but a good test for them, and Clemson will be a great test coming into Boise next Sunday, so that'll be fun to watch.
I know we've talked about how you have some beef with ESPN.
Yeah,
right now.
I was not happy with ESPN's performance on Monday night. I understand. Listen, I'm most people in America, they love the NFL. Patrick Mahomes, he's playing. We all got to drop whatever we're doing to watch him, whatever. I really don't care as much, and I want to watch college basketball. So I was already pretty frustrated that a top 10 college basketball matchup to kick off the year was tipping off 9:30 Mountain. So that's 11:30 Eastern. That's not even – no one's watching that game over there. NFL game goes to overtime. It's on ESPN. The basketball game's on ESPN too. So I'm like, okay, well, it'll be over. We'll start playing on ESPN too. No, we got to watch Patrick Mahomes go down the field. They win the coin toss because in Arrowhead Field, there's a magnetic force that forces the Chiefs to get the ball. So, of course, Patrick Mahomes gets the ball. They go down and score. Now, after the game, I'm like, okay, I'm going to jump to ESPN 2. We'll get the basketball game going. No, we got to watch the post-game show on ESPN and ESPN 2. And now I don't even see the only time the game is competitive, basically, in the first. Yeah. When the game gets thrown to us, it's after the first media timeout. After we watch, the doofuses on ESPN talk about how great Patrick Mahomes is for the 1,000,000th time in a row. So, how we already had to start with, and one of the things I'm frustrated with is the NFL has now just become like. They just think they own every night of the week, basically. And I get a lot of people love the NFL, but no one got to see the best, the couple, a great Gonzaga team play. And then we're all going to be surprised when in March things happen, but we're not even most people aren't even in a position to watch these games anyway. Mm-hmm. So frustrating day for me at home, but that's just because I'm a fan of college basketball, I guess.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, it was a good game, the Monday night game, but nobody wants to watch Troy Aikman and Joe Buck break down the game on 2 channels.
We just watched it.
We just did. Yeah. It's like how after games they cut to SportsCenter and show highlights of the game we just watched. But
yeah, we all watch. I mean, it was on the TV. I was watching. I was like, well, I mean, there's nothing else to watch until the game. Go that late, so I was like, oh, whatever, watch it. But yeah, I don't. Why do we need the post game show on both the channels? So yeah, whatever. It is what it is. The NFL kind of rules the TV land, and it's money based or whatever. So I don't know what to say about it. It is just what we have to deal with as college basketball fans, I think.
Yeah, it's the bias, the football bias.
I was gonna bring up one of the coolest when there's a student manager media frenzy. I'm always in on it, and the main manager.
Yeah.
Oh my God, what a legend!
That was
to
crazy.
Pull up in Cameron Indoor and just be like, I'm just gonna show off that I can dunk.
He was like probably 6'2", maybe.
Yeah, he was. I just saw that someone posted like he was a really good high school player and. But man, he was doing like windmills. That was awesome. I loved it.
I saw one edit where somebody made Cooper Flag on the other end, did like a windmill, and then it cuts to this dude doing the exact same dunk on the other end, and some guy in one of the camera crazies got a selfie with him after.
Yeah, no, it was pretty funny. I was laughing at that because. That's like a total manager move to be like, hey, I'm in the coolest venue in college basketball. I'm just going to start doing my own thing.
There's also another local manager story that just happened.
Yeah, our guy.
Yeah, shout out to our guy, Brendan Ramirez. He's been a manager for his third year?
Yeah, I believe so.
Third year. And he's been working really hard. And I think the NCAA passed a rule where if you're a manager, you can't be a walk-on, but I think they appealed it and got it overturned, and he's now part of the team.
Yeah, I got to join the team, so that was pretty cool. Yeah, he's been trying to get that done for a long time, and right before the first game of the year, they kind of surprised him with it, and hopefully get him in a game soon.
Shout out B-Man.
Yeah, B-Man.
If you're watching.
There was a couple other games this week. That same night, Wednesday, Creighton. They had a kind of a tough game, but Kalkbrenner went 49 points, 20 of 22 from the field. So
and one of them was a three. Yeah. One of his misses was a three.
Yeah, so that was pretty impressive.
I think they might have lost that game if he didn't, because they only won by 8 or 10 or something
points,
like that.
I think so. That was a pretty close one. Couple kind of. I don't know. Villanova's struggling again this year, so I don't know how long Neptune's there, but they got beat just pretty handily by Columbia, who was picked like 4th or 5th in the Ivy League. So, but yeah, like you were saying, some big games this weekend. For tonight, we have that North Carolina Kansas game, which would be cool. It's actually in Kansas, not like a neutral site game, so that'll be fun. New Mexico goes to UCLA. UCLA looks pretty good, so that'll be a good test for a Mountain West squad. What else you got?
Yeah, I mean, good games on tonight, good games on tomorrow. Houston, Auburn tomorrow, and what was the other one?
Well, I guess
Baylor and Arkansas.
Arkansas.
Baylor and Arkansas, yeah. So
Coach Cal had some interesting words. Did you see that press conference? Yeah, he had some words that were a little different, and I think I was reading just like some comments under that post that Arkansas made of his press conference, and a lot of the fans were saying like, we have really good players, but they don't seem to play as a team. Like, we have like NBA guys, and it was just flooded with Kentucky fans being like, yeah, we've lived this for the last 15 years or whatever. Like, yeah, they're always going to have good players, but is it always gel together? You never know. Yeah. So we'll see how they play. But should we do a little college football talk?
Yeah, I would like to start out by saying rest in peace to Ben Herbstreit.
Yeah, Ben.
Kirk Herbstreit's dog. I mean, he had cancer. We kind of all knew it was coming, but it's kind of sad to see that, especially with all the media.
That one hurt a little differently.
Yeah,
that was tough, man.
And I'm sure it'll be hard tomorrow, or I guess whenever we release this on College Game Day.
I didn't watch last night, Thursday Night Football, but he was calling the game.
Yeah.
I don't know if it. I mean, it is a dog. It's not like
Yeah, that's true. It's America's dog.
It's just he became pretty famous, but first college football playoff rankings came out.
Yeah.
Not a lot of change from the 8 people, but
No, I mean they have what was it BYU at 6 or 7 or 9?
I think they were 9.
So that basically means like if they lose, Boise State could slide in.
I think the biggest thing. I think a lot of Boise State fans were expecting them to be ranked like 18 to 16 or something like that, but they put Boise State right in there at the 12 spot, which means they'd be a 12 seed. BYU was at 9, but they were moved into that as like assuming they're a conference champion, so they got that bye. But yeah, I think they think pretty highly of Boise State. I think they would if BYU does slip up and at some point. I wouldn't be surprised if they move up the Broncos and then maybe into it would be crazy if they got a bye. I feel like that's just it would be insane.
Yeah, I feel like it's either bye or away game. It's going to be really hard to get a home first round.
It's just going to be tough because like if they do win out and they win the conference championship and BYU does slip up, I think you probably see a bye because like 5 through 8 is going to be it's probably going to be losers of like the big conference championships or conference champion like Ohio State, whoever loses maybe the SEC championship game or whoever
because if you have Ohio State and Oregon, let's just say
one of those is going to get a bye, one of those is going to be the 5 most likely.
Let me ask you this: so if you're you are a Boise State fan, but as a fan, would you rather have a bye for Boise State, which means they go play in some neutral site, or a home game for a first round game, but they have the chance to lose, of course?
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I was thinking about this. It would be so cool to have a bye, or to have a bye, yes, but it would be so cool to have a home game. Like imagine, because we don't get a lot of big names to come over here, like ever.
I mean, the biggest one was probably Oklahoma State a couple years ago. BYU.
Oregon's played here, but that was like 10, 12 years ago. Like, it would be cool. I mean, imagine like Tennessee having to come play here or something. Like if you were the 8 seed and you would get a home game, right? I would be down with that. Yeah. I think I would be down with that.
I feel like whatever.
You obviously want the bye.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a fan decision, but
yeah. I was gonna say I feel like whatever team, if we had a home game and whatever team came in and played, they would probably fill like half the stadiums. Since our stadium's so small compared to like the 90,000 or 100,000.
Yeah, it would be. I would. That was also kind of going through my head. Like, do they consider? I don't think they would factor that in, but you know how pissed like Alabama fans would be.
Oh, coming to Boise,
and they only were allocated like 10,000 tickets.
Yeah. I ain't coming to Boise, Idaho.
Yeah, like that. We only have 35, 38 or something. Like, they're not going to give out tickets to Alabama fans.
No, they would buy Bama fans.
They would buy them up.
Any SEC team would come and like Tennessee would stripe out half the stadium.
Tennessee would fill up the entire. Yeah. I went to watch Tennessee when they played Oregon, and Tennessee probably had 25,000 people in Eugene. So I would not be surprised if Boise State got a home game, it would be overloaded with whoever they're gonna play. And a lot of people want to see the blue turf. Like,
true, yeah, it's like
it's
a
national, unique thing, and so I think you would have to be wary about the people selling their tickets to the away fan. But it would be cool, happen. Like just having an SEC team or a Big Ten team having to come play you. Mm-hmm. I think it would create a cool thing. But obviously, if you were the team, you'd want to buy. Take the buy and less football to have to play. But you never know.
Yeah, I mean, Boise State just needs to keep on taking care of business and winning out, and we'll see what happens with the rest of the country for sure.
Yeah, another team we quit talking about a while back was the Buffs. Oh,
That
prime.
yeah, big noon kickoff.
Yeah, it looked pretty promising. They
Yeah.
kind of had hyped it up a little bit, and maybe it was just the local media was doing that, but we were kind of hoping. We were kind of hoping for the big noon game. They decided to go with old prime Travis Hunter,
Which
but
since he's playing a 3-win Nevada
Yeah.
makes sense, but
Yeah.
still it would be nice just to.
it is the constant struggle of Mountain West football is when you get in kind of the dog days.
Yeah.
I think they have to go to Wyoming next week.
Yeah.
Which just blows, but I mean, that's why we're moving conferences, right?
That's true. Pac-12.
But yeah, I mean, Colorado kind of controls their own destiny to go to their conference championship in the Big 12. So I don't know. BYU, they look pretty good, I guess. We'll see if they can keep it going.
We got a big game this weekend.
Yeah, against the Utes. Is that what they call it?
The Holy War.
Holy War?
Yeah.
Holy War, all right. But yeah, I mean, that'll be a good game.
Yeah, should we preview
Yeah,
these
let's
weekend's
do-
games?
I guess it's not a great slate. But
Yeah,
the big one,
it's
of
top
course,
heavy.
is Alabama LSU.
Yeah.
That's a classic game.
Oh.
Yeah. Who you got winning that game?
I'm going to take LSU just because it's in Louisiana, and Bama's been up and down this year, so I'm going LSU.
Yeah, I gotta take LSU.
It's our teams.
I really want to pick Alabama in this game, but nighttime Death Valley, nah, you're not winning that game. I don't
No.
think that would be a really big win. If Alabama wins this game, I'll be back on them being a legitimate like playoff team, but I just don't see it.
Yeah.
I don't see it this week.
Yeah, we'll see.
Who you got next?
So another big SEC matchup: Georgia at Ole Miss. Ole Miss is 2.5-point dogs. What do you got for that one?
Georgia didn't look very good last year. Like, what's up with Carson Beck?
Who knows?
Like, the guy just kind of is just willy-nilly with the ball.
Yeah.
Like, he throws picks. He's got to lose the eye black. He looks stupid after a pick, and they pan to him.
Yeah.
And he's just kind of,
Like he's a DN.
yeah. But I still think Ole Miss is a good team. They kind of have been written off. I'll take the Rebs. I'll take the Rebs in this game.
I think I'm gonna go Georgia.
It's a safe pick.
Yeah.
I still think they're good enough to win.
Yeah. At the end of the day, they're still Georgia.
I still think they could win a national championship.
Yeah.
Really.
Did you see last weekend when they played Florida and Florida put out a graphic that's like, make sure you drive safe,
Yeah,
everybody.
Speaking of Florida, they actually they came out and said they're going to keep Billy Napier,
Yeah,
their
I
coach.
saw
So
that.
he's kind of worked his way back into the
Yeah.
job. That was looking not good week 1 through 4, I think.
The strength of schedule is he's definitely holding on to that as an
Yeah.
excuse for sure. But I mean, we'll give him one more year and then
Yeah, it might
We'll see.
it might need to be like the first 6 games of next year.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what everyone said this year though, so I don't know. But
Holy War BYU at Utah, who's been really struggling.
yeah, there's no way Utah wins this game. Like their
Yeah.
offense is so
I'm surprised they're only 2.5-point underdogs. Like I would expect way more.
They can't. They just can't score. Like
No.
they just don't have a legitimate offense, and it's just been it's been a weird year for them because they're so consistent, especially in the Pac-12. Like everyone knew how consistent they were the last 10 years, basically, and but yeah, I think BYU continues to roll.
Yeah, Utah was picked number 1 in the Big 12 preseason, and now they're bottom of the
Yeah,
conference.
Cam Rising, that dude's just he had to hang him up basically.
Yeah,
So
he's
it's
like the
just
unluckiest guy ever.
Yeah,
but-
just really unlucky. Not nothing bad about him. He just
no,
has
like
injuries.
running into a cart on the sidelines.
Man, he came back that one game, immediately rolls his ankle.
Yeah.
Like, it's just one of those times just
Yeah.
to call it quits.
Yeah, I'm gonna go BYU as well for that.
I'm taking the Cougs.
Yeah. Last one, Oklahoma at Missouri. Oklahoma is 2.5-point favorites on the road against a ranked Missouri team.
Missouri does not deserve to be ranked. That team sucks. But they will win this game because Oklahoma sucks even more.
I'm going to go with you. I like Missouri. Yeah.
One of the games from last week that I was going to bring up was old Dabo. They got their ass kicked at home. And they kind of benefited from a really weak schedule after losing the first game to Georgia, and now they have to go back to the drawing book. But like, I don't know how much longer. Like, they can't fire him because he's like a lifer there. But I would just be surprised how long they want to do this no NIL everything, because it's going to at some point it's just going to bite you.
You have to. With how it is nowadays, you got to adjust. You got to change with the times. You're not going to be like just because you don't do transfers or NIL stuff compared to other people. Like, that's not going to get the job done.
Yeah. I got one last thing for you. So, election coming up or just happened. Who'd you vote for? No, I'm just kidding.
I was like, whoa, I don't know, good political here.
So I was gonna say, with the election, I'm going to announce you Sam Winter, president of all sports. What's one immediate change you do? Any sport. It could be table tennis. It could be the NFL.
One sport where
Sam Winter is a president of sports, and you're given a note that says you can make one immediate change with no vote.
All right. I'm going NFL.
Okay.
We will now be switching NFL overtime to college football.
That's a big one.
Overtime rules. I'm sick and tired of this happened last Monday. Team getting the coin toss, driving down the field lethargically, handing the ball off, wasting time, and just scoring a touchdown.
Patrick
game
Mahomes
over.
May never win another game.
Yeah. If that actually happened, the Chiefs would probably be like 500. But no, I think that's my that'd be my one change.
That's a good one.
Yeah. How about you?
One.
You got one?
I was thinking about this, and I'm pretty sure I want to say Mark Titus. Shout out Mark Titus.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he I can't remember if he was the one that was talking about this, but it was really interesting. So, college football, we move it back to start like the first week of August.
Okay. Like the start of the season?
The start of the season is like week 1 is like August 1st. The national championship game is New Year's Day at the Rose Bowl.
I like that.
But since we move it back, the non-conference games are all of August, and then it never interferes with the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
You get to know the teams a lot better. And then when the NFL starts, you're getting into even bigger games. So there's not it's on its own in August. So you're just playing out, like, if there's big non-conference games, it's everyone's watching them. There's no interference with anything else. And then the playoff starts like right after, or like during Thanksgiving or something like that.
I like that. I mean, in the South, it would get damn hot.
Yeah, a lot of night
August,
games.
but,
A lot of night games. But then what else was I going to say was, then the transfer portal, it would open right after the championship game, and that's like in between, like people's like class.
Oh,
so
true,
you could transfer
true.
mid-semester or after mid-term or whatever, and that way you could go to another school for spring.
That's interesting. I never thought about that.
Yeah.
But another change I would have is stop playing the college football national championship on a Monday night.
That's what I was gonna say too. Was that's why I liked it. Like, the national championship games just permanently at the Rose Bowl on New Year's Day, like when the Rose Bowl always goes on.
Mm-hmm.
No one. That's such a big.
Why are we doing it on a Monday night?
We gotta wake up on the Monday and like wait for the game after work and
it's
not cool. Like,
every national championship game I remember in high school, I usually had basketball practice, so I'd miss it, or I'd be getting home after a long day and then I'd just be like, oh, it's the national championship.
Yeah.
Nothing special.
Yeah, that was what always sucked, was like, oh, well, now I can't even watch these games because, it's
homework.
basketball time. It's basketball season at that point. And that's what also is like, the more we move it, like it's becoming the NFL. That's why I wanted to change. Was like college football is just slowly moving towards being more like the NFL. Like I don't need to watch college football in February. Like,
No. Like,
and it also benefits college basketball because people don't even watch college basketball till end of January now.
Yeah.
And like you don't get the big games on.
Football's always first.
Like I'll be interested to see this year because with the longer playoff, like we already weren't having like a lot of prime time weekend matchups for college basketball until mid-January. Now it's even pushing like farther back. Like I'll be interested to see how that works. But
yeah. I mean, we'll see with how the playoff feels this year. I think it'll be fun.
I think this is a good year for the big playoff because there's so many teams that can go. But
fill out your little 12-team playoff bracket, bracketology.
Everyone's just picking the same.
Yeah. No, but it'll be fun to watch, see how it all plays out for sure.
I was laughing at one of the bracketology for college basketball. Like, I love the guys on ESPN that go, like, my Final Four this year. I'm going to go Alabama, Kansas, Gonzaga, and let's see. They just picked the top
UConn.
UConn. Yeah. It's like, real bold picks there. But
it's like the people who follow the bracket put the one seed.
It's never that. And it's never that.
Yeah.
It just cracks me up because we're 1 weekend. Everyone wants to think they can fill out the bracket already.
Or like the Lenardi bracketology for the first day of basketball.
Yeah.
I saw PFT said he was like, watch, Lenardi's going to put Providence in first four out just for engagement. And he does that.
No, it's true. It's just all like for us to just get mad about.
Yeah. Hey, that's his job.
I mean, he does it well. That's for sure. Mm-hmm. All right, man. Well, that was a good episode. We got some good games on tonight, and then we'll watch a little college football tomorrow, and then actually we'll watch college basketball and college football tomorrow, which will be fun. So we're going to we're going from the football game to Boise State basketball. Yeah. Tough game for the Broncos for hoops. I think that'll be a good test for them on the road at San Francisco. Not an easy out there. Mm-hmm. So I think that game was like a 5-point game here last year.
Yeah, it was close.
So.
But yeah.
Alrighty.
All right.
Well, thanks for watching, guys.
Yep. We'll